And a good afternoon to everyone. Welcome to Pro Seniors Virtual Happy Half Hour. My name is Ann Maxfield. I am an independent consultant to nonprofits, and it is my absolute pleasure to be here today. I am happy to help with Pro Seniors host this virtual version of our annual gathering before we begin the program with our honorees at 5:30 p.m. Pro Seniors provides no-cost legal and long-term care advocacy to Ohio seniors, and at 5:30 p.m. you'll hear more about our mission and our inspiring honorees. While you're watching, please snap a picture. Don't be bashful. That's why they have a selfie feature right here on your camera. Please snap a picture or 5. Share it on social media using the hashtag SeniorsWhoRock. Again, that is hashtag SeniorsWhoRock. And if you look on the screen, it's scrolling underneath the screen. You're going to want to use the handle Pro Seniors and handle Pro Seniors Inc. And you will get a chance to win a ticket to the 2021 Seniors Who Rock. That is assuming that we're going to be live and in person in 2021. You'll see this information on the scrolling message at the bottom of your screen throughout happy hour, or shall I say happy half hour, and our program beginning at 5:30. Our virtual happy half hour is possible because of the support from our sponsors, including our in-kind sponsor, such as ITA Audio Visual Solutions. We're in their studio right now. That's a green screen behind me. I can attest to the fact that we're here. And as you can see, ITA knows how to do virtual events with style. And you won't see it on this side of the camera, but we can confirm that ITA's team are masters at the creative use of technology. Now sit back and enjoy their talents at work. If you ordered a party pack to enjoy during the program, you'll notice some extra treats. And what's not to really like about an extra treat in your party pack? Along with your wine and your gourmet snacks from Vonderhaar's, you'll find artisan chocolates from Tickled Sweet and some special gift certificates from Body and Soul, Scentsy, and Total Blaze Fitness. Well, you can certainly see that we're in a pandemic because we're talking about chocolate, mindfulness, and then fitness. One of you will also win a gift certificate to Ruth's Parkside Cafe. So many of you have tried your luck at the Bourbon Bonus, and we'll be announcing the winners throughout Happy Half Hour. Mary Day, who serves as the Development Director for Pro Seniors, will also contact each winner and notify him or her of their win. We have a talented guest with us today. We don't have just anyone. We have Eric from Ruth's Parkside Cafe. He is on loan to us, and he is a craft cocktail kind of guy, and he is going to make some very popular cocktails. Now, Eric, I do hear that Ruth's Parkside Cafe is very popular with people of all ages, not just seniors. Is that correct?
Oh, yes.
That's what I figured because I've been there and I'm not a senior yet. So I know it's popular with everyone. Even if you're not one of the lucky bourbon bonus winners today, I am sure that you will enjoy these cocktails. Now, Eric, before you start, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the first 3 bourbon bonus winners and announce them right now before you start. So let me reach into the bowl, because Mary Day put all these things in here. And she said, Ann, you need to reach all the way around into the bowl. All right. The first bourbon bonus winner is Chris Buttress. The second bourbon bonus winner is Sandra Jones. And the third bourbon bonus winner is well, Chris Buttress again. She's going to be enjoying her bourbon. So those are the first 3 bourbon bonus winners, and I'm going to toss it over to Eric now, and he's going to wow us with his craft cocktails.
I'm going to start off with our Mandarin Martini, 1.5 ounces of Tito's vodka, our Mandarin simple syrup, a dash of simple syrup, Shake very well. Serve it in a martini glass. And garnish with an orange. Let me fill my... Our next cocktail is our lemon ginger martini, which is one of my creations, which is one of my favorites. Start with Stoli's citrus, 1.5 ounces. Easy way to count is 1, 2, 3. Ginger simple syrup, about 1 ounce to 1.5 ounces of it. A dash of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Shake very well. And pour. And garnish with a lemon wedge.
Wow.
And don't you have more drawings?
You know what, I do, but I'm kind of focused on your cocktails right now, so let me get my headspace to do some drawings. Yes, we have 3 more bourbon bonus drawings, so let me get in here. And by the way, who knew that there was a ginger syrup available? So now we do, and that was Eric's favorite cocktail. So let me pull 3 out of here. Whoops. All right, the next 3 winners are Mary Arnold, I hope I'm pronouncing the surname correctly. So Jennifer Anstedt. Jennifer Anstedt. Mary knows who you are. And Arthur Pate Jr. So those are the next 3 winners of the bourbon bonus. And I'm going to shoot this back over to Eric because he has 2 more cocktails to mix.
Okay. The next drink is a Bite the Bullet, which is made with bullet rye. Get some ice in here. .3 ounces of bullet rye. About 1 ounce of triple sect. Finished off with ginger ale. And that is garnished with a orange slice. If I can get it on there. And then the next cocktail is our ginger gin fizz. Which we use Seagram's gin, but you can use any type of gin you like. That's 1.5 ounces of gin, ginger simple syrup, lime juice, and soda water. You do want to mix this cocktail. A little more ice. And garnish with a lime. Back to you, Ann.
Well, I'm seeing and hearing a theme for tonight, and that would be ginger. So
Yes.
Those look fabulous, Eric, and thank you so much. All of us appreciate you being here. And also thanks to David Tape and Mary Croner, who are co-owners of Ruth's Parkside Cafe, who loaned us Eric's expertise, but more importantly, they actually provided all the ingredients. Eric is important, but the ingredients are equal as important when you're doing a craft cocktail. So thank you so much to Mary and David. And as a matter of fact, their generosity did not stop there, because they have gifted a $50 gift certificate to one lucky person who ordered a party pack this evening. But before I draw for that, I have one more bourbon bonus round to draw for, and there'll be 4 winners for this one. So let me get in the bowl. By the way, there really is a bowl. So just in case you don't know that, it's a bowl right here. So I'm going to get 4 right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, let's see how many surnames I can totally botch. Oh, this is an easy one. This is someone that I know and I used to work for. Sue Ellen Stubing, who is with CET Connect. You're one of the winners of the bourbon. Ann Hurley, another winner of the bourbon. Bourbon bonus. Eric Cook, you're a winner of the bourbon bonus. And the last and final bourbon bonus, I think, no, I think I may have 3 more. I think I have 3 more, is Michael Hirschfeld. So that is, I get to draw 3 more. I got ahead of myself in here. So let me just count very quickly, because Mary Day only has a certain amount of bourbon bottles, so I should have a total of 13, 4. I get to do 3 more. Don't you love it when the Master of Ceremonies just completely forgets how to count? All right, 1, 2, 3. Whoops. And I'm drinking water just in case anybody knows. Gail Linkletter, Chris Labor, and finally, the last bourbon bonus winner goes to Reed LeMasters, or it's LeMasters, Reed LeMasters. So congratulations to all 3 bourbon bonus winners. Now we get to draw for Ruth's Parkside Cafe $50 gift certificate. And that's not a jar. That actually is fanning right here. So the winner for the $50 gift certificate is Jim Eckerly with Pension Corporation of America. Congratulations for that $50 gift certificate. And if you haven't been to Ruth's Parkside Cafe, you must order the Mediterranean board. It is yummy. Now, here's a real surprise. There are 4 tickets for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland, Ohio, and I've been there myself, and it is amazing. I kind of want Led Zeppelin to be on the green screen with me, but no, they're not. So the 2 winners, they each get 2 tickets, and again, I'm pulling from this. So we'll do 1 here, and we'll do 1 there. All right, each person gets 2 tickets. Josh Good with Bartlett and Weber. It's either Good or Goody. I think it's Good. Josh Good, Bartlett and Weber. And finally, we have Chad Levine, or it's Levine, with Conan and Patton. They are the 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fames. I will keep them separate from, I just had the one here. Oh, here we go. So this got them all separate, because Mary's going to want to make sure they are. So I'm going to put those right there. All right. So we are surrounded today by multi-talented people, not only Eric, who's extremely talented, but also we are surrounded with Jeff Danaher, who is the chair of the Resource Development Committee, and Jeff Kahneman, staff attorney at Pro Seniors. Jeremy will show us how to make a refreshing blackberry bourbon smash, and then Jeff and Jeremy will share some insight with their bourbon banter. And we love a little bourbon banter, don't we? So we're going to be posting all of these recipes and the drink recipes on the website at Pro Seniors. And take a look at your screen. Take a look at your screen, and Jeff and Jeremy are up.
Thank you, Ann Maxfield, for emceeing this evening. My name is Jeremy Kahneman. I'm a staff attorney with Pro Seniors, and I'm here to help you make a bourbon cocktail. The drink we're going to make today is called a bourbon smash, or a variation on a bourbon smash. What we want to start is wash lemon. You want to cut it in half down the hemisphere like this. And then from here you want to quarter it 4 times. This is just going to make it easier to mash down into the glass later. So it's just 4 pieces of lemon. This part and the ends will not be needed unless you want to double the recipe, which is a good idea. So you want to take those lemons, you want to take 3 of them and stick them in the mixing glass. And we'll leave this one to the side. On top of the lemons, you want to add 4 blackberries. This will really add a lot more sweetness to the drink. The next ingredient is going to be simple syrup. You can buy simple syrup in the store, or you can easily make this at home just by adding 1 cup of sugar to 1 cup of water, equal proportions. What I do is I get a scale out and I basically measure out 200 grams of sugar and I add 200 grams of water. And you add it to the stove, you heat it up till the sugar dissolves, you let it cool and you bottle it. It's very useful in a lot of cocktails, especially the ones with bourbon. Definitely need it for old fashions, and you definitely need it for this drink. You want to add 3/4 of an ounce of simple syrup to our mixing glass. And then you're going to take a muddler here. You want to muddle these blackberries and lemons together. You really want to get in there well. If you don't have a muddler at home, you can kind of mash it down with a spoon. You can try to maybe juice these things before you stick them in, but a muddler is really probably important for the process of making this drink, just because it really gets in the glass. You really put some muscle behind it, and what you're doing is just pushing down on the lemons, basically to juice these. You're also trying to crush all those little blackberry seeds and berries in there. So hold on to that. Next step is you want to take some mint. You just want to take these mint leaves, and add about 8 mint leaves to the drink. These aren't going to be in the final product, but you don't want them to be too discolored and ugly. Really give off a good aroma. So we're going to very gently muddle the mint, and it's very important that you gently muddle this, because if you muddle it to a point where it gets broken down, you get this like chlorophyll bitterness that comes through the drink, and we really don't want that. So really, it's just going to push it in. You're trying to get a little bit of the oils out of the mint. I'm not putting a lot of pressure in. I'm just pushing those down in the mix and giving them a little bit of a twist. So next we're going to add some ice to this. You're going to fill it up. So we have 3/4 ounces of simple syrup. We have a little under half a lemon and 4 blackberries. We're going to add just a little over 2 ounces of bourbon. I'm using Wild Turkey 101. This bourbon has a little kick to it. I think it kind of helps with this drink because the bourbon taste is really eviscerated by the lime and the blackberries by the end of it. So you have everything in here. You want to get a stir. You just want to move the spoon around. What you're doing is you're chilling the liquid and incorporating the flavors together. The flavors are pretty much already mixed. So really you're just chilling down the bourbon and getting it nice and cold. So say a good about 10 seconds stirring is very nice. You're gonna take the glass. If you have big ice is very helpful. Stick a big square or circle in there. That makes it melt slower. You get to enjoy the drink. Drinks true flavor a little bit longer. And because this is blackberries, you want to double sieve, fine sieve colander and a double strain this drink into the glass. Let's pour it through the strainer into the glass. Try not to go too fast because you'll overwhelm the fine strainer. And finally, for garnishes, you want to take a mint sprig. I get a pretty good sprig here of mint. You take it in your palm and spank it. That really releases the oils. It really smells out the place. And then you can get extra. Church it up a bit and move the sprig around the edge of the glass. That adds the oils of the mint to the glass. And just stem down, stick the sprig in there. Is your choice. If you want to take the last 1/4 of the lime, just give it a slight slit down the side and add it to the edge of the glass as another garnish. And then here you go. you have a blackberry bourbon smash. Again, a very great drink for the summer. Hides the bourbon well, but it's definitely in there, so be careful. Enjoy the rest of your
One of the things that people ask me is there a right way to drink bourbon? And people will say, wow, it's too strong. And I'll tell people, drink bourbon the way that you enjoy it. A lot of times people use it as a mixer. They'll add, bourbon to Coke. And it's a way, if you're not familiar with bourbon, which has a lot of notes of caramel and vanilla. It comes from the oak, the wood that it's aged in. One of the things you can do is, if you really are getting into bourbon and you want to experiment to find out what your palate likes, always start with a sip to get your palate acclimated. And then after that's done, take your next sip. And if you find it's too hot, too much alcohol heat, then at that point, slowly add either cold water or ice, because once you put the water and ice in, you can't get it out. So if you're trying to find out how you like it, add the water. You can get little droppers or just pour in little bits, a little capful at a time. And that sometimes opens up the bourbon whiskey, where you'll get a lot more of the volatiles coming up, so you get the nice smells get released, and it can proof it down, which means lower the alcohol content. What's your favorite bourbon?
My favorite bourbon to use when I'm making like a cocktail, like an old fashioned or mint julep, is usually Wild Turkey 101. It's very available. Mm-hmm. I think it has a lot of flavor. If I do sip, it's more of a trying, more sampling of different kinds. But the Four Roses Small Batch Select, I really like. I just got a gift of Wilderness Trail, and I haven't cracked that open yet, but I'm excited to. I've heard lots of good things about Wilderness Trail.
Wilderness Trail, great stuff. Now, did you get the rye or the bourbon? And is it the wheat or the sweet mash?
It's sweet mash.
Okay.
The black label, the bottle and bond. As the bourbon ages in these barrels, it does slowly evaporate in and out of the barrel. So when you get these bourbons that are bottled that are 17-year, 20, 23-year bourbons, there's only a little bit left in that barrel from where it started.
Buffalo Trace has an exhibit on that, where they have a cutaway of the barrels to show you what's called the angel's share, which is in the rick house or the warehouse where the bourbon is aging. It will evaporate. When you walk in these warehouses, the smell is divine. And that's all the angels share. That's the bourbon the angels get to drink.
Yeah.
I think that bourbon goes very well with pro seniors because it's respecting your elders. And bourbon takes time and age, and as it matures, it can become that much better. And the same way with Seniors Who Rock is we're honoring those seniors who are in Act 2 and haven't stopped. And I like to suggest that have a small sip of bourbon or a bourbon cocktail while you're watching some of the honorees for this year, and just want to thank you for your support of Pro Seniors. We certainly can use your support. We're doing great things, taking care of the elderly population, the vulnerable, those in nursing homes, being advocates. And just want to say to you, we appreciate it. And as a board member of Pro Seniors, we can't do it without you. So cheers.
Wow, a great big thank you to Jeff and Jeremy. And we're also so fortunate to have both of you on our team at Pro Seniors. As Jeff said, we are counting on all of your support to continue the work of Pro Seniors. Now, would be a fabulous time to text to give. So you want to pull out your cell phone, and since you're taking pictures anyway and posting them on social media with the hashtag Seniors Who Rock, just go to your text function, and what you want to do is you want to plug in the phone number of 44321, and you want to text the word Seniors Rock, all one word. That is one way to make an investment in seniors in Ohio. Another way to invest in the seniors in Ohio is to get out your credit card right here. You go to their website and you can go to Donate Now and you can put in your donation via a credit card. Thirdly, yes, some of us still have checkbooks. You can make a check out to Pro Seniors and send it through the mail. And I know that everyone would appreciate that. I want to give a shout out to Tracy Collins. She was our very first person to make a text to give donation. So thank you very much, Tracy. So we are going to take a short break. So please come back in about 4 minutes and we will start the program. If you are just joining us, good evening and welcome to Pro Seniors Annual Seniors Who Rock. My name is Ann Maxfield and I am an independent consultant to the nonprofit sector, and I am thrilled to once again to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for this very important occasion. At this point in the year, we've all adjusted, or we've tried to adjust, to a lot of gathering virtually instead of in person. We're just so glad that you've joined us because our honorees are just as inspiring as if we were in the same room with them. We also know that the need for pro senior services is increasing as we all try to navigate the new normal. Before we get started, we have some social media information. So for those of you that are on social media, we would love for you to post pictures. That would mean you take your camera out, you either do selfies or you do pictures of you and your party pack. So anything that you post on social media, please use the hashtag SeniorsWhoRock, all one word, and then the handles to use, and it's also scrolling under the screen, is for Twitter and Instagram. The handle for Twitter and Instagram is Pro Seniors Inc. And for Facebook and LinkedIn, it is Pro Seniors. So again, take your selfies, post it on social media, and let's have some fun. We're honoring 3 fabulous people, and this is a great way to everybody come together and celebrate their fabulousness. This time next year, we hope to be gathering in person once more, and this is your chance, by the way, to win a free ticket to Seniors Who Rock. So as you're snapping, as you're posting on social media, make sure you do the tag of Seniors Who Rock when you post to social media. Want a bonus entry? You want to tag Pro Seniors on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram to get the entries. What we're very excited today is, as you know, this is our only fundraiser for Pro Seniors, and right now, I've just been told, since 5 o'clock, we have raised $525. So we want to keep investing in Ohio seniors and their access to justice, so make sure you get your credit card and your checkbook out and keep it handy. And your donations are tax deductible. Oh, we are now up to $1,100. So thank you, whoever has been giving since the time that we've been talking about this at 5 o'clock. So thank you. And just so you know, we're going to announce the winner of the 2021 ticket on tomorrow, Thursday, August the 27th, on our social media channels. Now's the time. In 2015, I want to give you some history. Now's the time for a little history. In 2015, Pro Seniors established Seniors Who Rock to shine a positive light on older adults and to celebrate the value and vibrancy that these men and women bring to our community. To date, Pro Seniors has recognized 21 Seniors Who Rock honorees. I know that some of us are joining us right now virtually this year. I would love everyone to pick up your beverage glass. Mine is water because I am the MC. So pick up your beverage glass and let's raise a glass to the 21 Seniors Who Rock from the prior year since 2015. Hear, hear. This empowering event would not be possible without our amazing sponsors, and I'm telling you, it is a who's who on the people and companies who are supporting this event, which means they support Ohio seniors. So on behalf of Pro Seniors, I want to thank our generous gold sponsor, CET. And I want to put in a plug for one of their programs, and it's called Great Performances. And they have done an amazing job during the pandemic of providing access to all public television. But Great Performances right now is featuring, wait for it, the 2019 Broadway production of The King and I. So thank you, CET, for your gold level sponsors. Our silver level sponsors are to Believe in Justice, and we want to give a big thank you to Cooney, Ferguson, and LeVay, Graydon Law, Hesh Law, Ohio Access to Justice Foundation, Reading Investments, and Robbins, Kelly, Patterson, and Tucker. So thank you so much to our silver sponsors. We appreciate it very much. We also, let's not leave out our bronze sponsors. A great big thank you to our bronze sponsors. And it's interesting, as I read the list, it's kind of like having a CPA sandwich. So we're starting out with Barnes Denig. We thank Barnes Denig, Heritage Bank, Malott and Malott, Ritter, Danaher Financial Advisory, Johnson Investment Counsel, Mary Meinhardt, Dimity and Matt Orlett, PNC Bank, Taft Law, and then we're going to end with the CPA firm, Von Lehman CPA. So thank you so much to all of the bronze sponsors for your investment in Ohio seniors. Everyone appreciates it. And to our friends of Senior Who Rock. You'll see them on the screen. These men and women and companies also invested in supporting the mission of Pro Seniors, which is to enhance the independence and quality of life of older Ohioans by empowering them, by protecting their interests, and by helping them access resources. As you can see here, we have so much to be grateful for, so thank you to the Friends of Pro Seniors. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce you to Attorney Dimity Orlett. She serves as the Executive Director for Pro Seniors, and I'm going to turn the program over to Dimity.
Thank you, Ann, for that introduction, and thank you for serving as our MC today. And I'd like to join Ann in welcoming you all to our 2020 Virtual Seniors Who Rock. I'm so happy you're here to help us celebrate 3 incredible seniors who rock. I know you're going to enjoy learning more about their remarkable lives and their service to our communities. Pro Seniors is honored to celebrate them, just as we're honored to advocate for seniors. At Pro Seniors, our work has a strong impact. We provide access to justice and the expertise needed to solve tough problems for seniors so they can live lives with dignity and meaning. In 2019 alone, we helped over 8,000 seniors. We help them resolve their legal and long-term care problems that really had that ability or the potential to disrupt their lives. And most of our clients are with low incomes, so we're very proud to be able to help them. In just a minute, you'll hear from 3 of our clients about how we were able to assist them. But first, I'd like to take a few minutes to thank and recognize our wonderful staff and volunteers for the work they do every day to improve the lives of seniors. We have a staff of 40 and a volunteer corps of over 70. This includes our legal team, our long-term care ombudsman team, and our senior Medicare patrol team. The dedication of these individuals has never been more apparent than in the past 5 months, as the world and particularly seniors have faced the challenges brought on by the COVID-19 pandemic. These individuals have risen to the occasion to make sure that Pro Seniors is still there for seniors when they need us most. So thank you so much to our team. And now I am happy to have you watch our first client video, which features Rob talking about the assistance provided to his family by our long-term care ombudsman program.
Hi, I'm Rob Dowell, and my father, Bob Dowell, had dementia. He was in the memory care unit at a local nursing home. On March 12th, I tried to go into the nursing home only to find out that because of COVID restrictions, nobody was going to be allowed. And this went on throughout the month of March. And then at March 30th, I got a call in the morning that said, you know, death was imminent for your dad and you're allowed to come in. So my wife, my sister, and I spent the day with him. Very late in the day then, after 4 o'clock, we were told by administration that we would have to leave. Visiting hours were over at 5. We scrambled. We were panicked at that time because we didn't know where to turn. My brother-in-law, who's a psychologist, used to do work in nursing homes throughout Ohio, and he knew of such an organization, Pro Seniors. We got the number of Deb Riddell and called her on her mobile phone late in that day, probably 4:30. And Deb was amazing. She took the call, was able to help us and calm us through this very difficult situation. The police showed up at 5 o'clock in the room, and I put Deb on speaker on the mobile phone. She calmly walked the police through kind of the governor's orders and through our rights, my father's rights, and we were able to negotiate my being able to stay with my father. And I did so throughout the evening, and then at 2 o'clock in the morning, he passed away while I was holding his hand. You don't know what peace of mind that really brought me, because I can't imagine how I would have felt if I would have just left when they asked me to leave, and that my father actually, died with no one there around him that loved him. And I think that, he wasn't able to speak it, but I know that he knew I was there and I was holding his hand, and that meant the world to my family, to myself, and I believe my father. So thanks to Deborah Dowell and Pro Seniors for the great work that they do.
And now we'll have our second client video featuring Marilyn, who is assisted by our Senior Medicare Patrol team.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Pittman, and I'm here to tell you how I was scammed and later rescued by the Ohio Senior Medicare Patrol. This is how it happened. Around April 15th, I started getting all kinds of scam-type emails and texts several times a day, which I didn't open until, after a few days, I did open one, against my better judgment. It had to be okay, as it was from Amazon. There was a phone number to call, but when I dialed it, somehow it went to a place doing genetic cancer screening. This should have sent a big red flag to me right then. I was told HAP, H-A-P, Health Awareness Project, works with Medicare and there would be no charge to me. I know they say old people are targets for scams. I may be 84, but I thought I was pretty savvy on this subject and would never be scammed. That same day, I contacted Amazon and was told this was a spoof. Amazon took all my information. I thought I was safe. During the next few days, I received more emails and texts from HAP from Florida. Later, I spoke with my Federal Blue Cross Blue Shield pharmacist who had never heard of HAP. I then called Medicare, who said it was a scam. To make a long story short, I called HAP to say I was canceling my genetic cancer testing. That did not stop the emails, texts, and phone calls. May 8th, as I was surfing the web still looking for answers, I found that the Ohio Department of Insurance provides information for people on Medicare. It was here that I saw my answer. It said, if you suspect wrongdoing or have been victimized, contact Pro Seniors and its fraud-fighting Ohio Senior Medicare Patrol. Wow, what a relief. I was familiar with Pro Seniors as they had helped me out several years ago, and I just knew they would help me again. I called and they connected me with Lisa. Lisa suggested I call Medicare, the Federal Trade Commission, and the FCC, giving me phone numbers for each agency. I told each my story, was issued a new Medicare card, just in case, and was told to watch for fake charges on my Medicare summaries. Each person I spoke with was very kind and helpful. Just when I thought things in my life were getting more in control, I received my COVID-19 stimulus check, but it was made out to me and my husband, who died in February. I knew I couldn't cash it, but I'm still alive and I wanted my share. I spent hours making calls and looking on the IRS.gov site, trying to figure out what to do with it. I finally resorted to making notes everywhere I could find a space on the IRS site asking what to do, as there were no instructions for my problem. I sent an email to Lisa about it, even though I knew this problem probably wasn't covered by her department. It wasn't, but in less than 2 hours, I received an answer from her telling me where to look. That some questions and answers on the IRS site had been added since I had looked. Did someone see my notes? I told Lisa, "You are a wonderment," using our friend Tim's phrase. If it weren't for Lisa guiding me through all of this, I still would not know what to do. I am so thankful. I live in the USA where any kind of help we need is available. In my case, my new Medicare card and my financial security is now safe. I give 5 stars to Pro Seniors and the Ohio Senior Medicare Patrol.
And for our final video, you'll hear from Harry, who's a veteran and who is assisted by our legal team.
My name is Harry Joseph A. I had some troubles with the VA as far as Social Security checks. I was in a VA nursing home, and I left there to be on my own, to live on my own. The VA sent me a letter stating I owed them $27,000 because they didn't know I was on Social Security. The Sandusky VA Institute I was in was taking this money for me, allow me to live there, and allow me allowance to go through the month for anything I needed. My partner told me to call Pro Seniors, which I did. They hooked me up with a bright young attorney named Matthew Barnes. I was quite surprised at his compassion for seniors and his intelligence. He filed all the necessary paperwork, sent it to the VA. He didn't have to refile nothing. He was that smart in the field. In 6 months, I got another letter from the VA stating, "We redetermined your situation. You owe us nothing." Mr. Barnes gave me my life back. Pro Seniors gave me my life back. If you have a problem, ladies and gentlemen, call them. You'll do yourself a great justice. Thank you.
Rob, Marilyn, and Harry just gave us a marvelous testimonial. I want to raise my glass to them. Thank you so much for sharing how Pro Seniors has impacted your life, because when the lives of our seniors is positively impacted, that means Pro Seniors has a community benefit. So thank you for sharing your stories with us. And all of us realize that resolving a legal or long-term care issue literally changes lives. Not only is Seniors Who Rock a meaningful recognition event, but it's the only fundraiser for Pro Seniors. So if you would like to invest, and remember, the people you're helping are the 3 clients that you just saw and all of the other men and women in seniors in Ohio, where Pro Seniors improves their lives. This is why you're investing. And again, you can text to give, and that is Seniors Rock at 44321. Oh my gosh, we now have raised $2,700. So thank you, everyone. So again, text to give. You can go on the website and you can use your credit card and you can go to the Donate Now page. And remember, everything is tax deductible. And of course, as I've said before, the old-fashioned checkbook that I still use, the checkbook. There's just something about that. I do online, but there's just something about that check that I enjoy. So I appreciate this. All of us appreciate. We are now up to $6,275. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you so much. So not only do I thank you, but also the many seniors who benefit from the great work performed by staff and volunteers. They thank you as well. Our 2020 Seniors Who Rock honorees are a gift to our community as well, as each one of them has blazed new trails to play a vital role in our region. To qualify as an honoree, one must be at least 70 years old and still active, working or volunteering and adding benefit and vibrancy to our community. Each honoree will speak for a few minutes, sharing a quote that keeps them rocking. And don't forget to post about the event, because I haven't said that enough already. Hashtag Seniors Who Rock. Remember that Mary Day's going to have some prizes. And so let's keep this momentum going and do some posting on social media. And use the hashtag Seniors Who Rock. So let's begin. Deep Water opens with these lines. If you want to make a difference, listen to me, friend. Don't hang around in the shallow end. You can do so much more, you will see, by going in where the water is deep. Written by Jean Dowell, our first honoree, Deep Water is an anthem to Dowell's life. She is most comfortable in the deep water, making a difference. She is a groundbreaking figure in women's sports. Before Title IX, she pushed for a women's basketball team at Western Carolina University and as an undergraduate, and at the University of Georgia as a graduate student. She told the administration, to tell a woman that she can't participate in athletics is like telling a woman that she can't use the library or that she can't use the computer center. That's quote unquote. A talented athlete in basketball and softball, Dowell turned down a professional basketball player's contract as a freshman at Western Carolina in order to continue her education. As a junior at Western, while preparing for a free throw shooting contest, she made, wait for it, Jean Dowell, in preparing for a free throw shooting contest, she made 192 consecutive free throws. So how many in the audience has done that? Good for you, Jean. Dowell was also legendary basketball coach, first at the University of Georgia and then at Mount St. Joseph University, where she also served as athletic director. When she left in 1994, after a 24-year career, they renamed the gymnasium the Jean Dowell Building. She has been inducted into 5 sports halls of fame, including the Ohio Basketball Hall of Fame. In 2016, Dowell dove deep and she released her first album, A Place Way Back in Time. Dowell says, quote, I just tell everybody I'm a storyteller. I write songs, I love singing them, unquote. And crowds loved it too. She sold out shows for a year after its release. Dowell returns to her roots and the music she grew up with in Union Grove, North Carolina. The 19 tracks written over the past 45 years combine her activism and images from growing up in the mountains. 2 songs are about coal miners. Several have pro-environment messages. Others are about longing for home and the ways of her past. All of them are simple and direct and authentic to Dowell herself. Dowell sings, go, yes, go in the deep water. Make this a better world. Well, certainly Jean Dowell has. We are so honored to recognize Jean Dowell as a senior who rocks.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us. And if you tuned in on my account, I want to especially thank you. And I want to thank Ann Maxfield for that nice introduction. You know, I'm pretty sure there's nobody out there who would think of me as a senior who rocks. But I'm very grateful that Pro Seniors thought so, and I would like to thank them for this high honor. And I would also, since I know all the great work that Pro Seniors do, it makes this award that much more special. And I would like to thank Mary Beth Puryear, who nominated me for this terrific award. Thank you, Mary Beth. From the time I was in the 5th grade, I knew I wanted to be a coach and a teacher. Of course, back then my first love was as an athlete, so I wanted to be an athlete, and I always enjoyed writing songs and singing songs. Never in a million years did I think I would be going to shows singing songs, my songs, to a crowd of people. But I have to admit, it was every song in every show was a lot of fun. I have to admit that the opportunities to be a player and a coach back in my day were not all that plentiful. But somehow I managed to play on several high-level teams in 4 different states. There were many championships and many friendships, and of those 2, you know which was the most enduring and the most meaningful. There are people who see me as a pioneer in women's sports, and that's because I've been around a long time. I got started in women's sports before Title IX was even thought of. I played on the first ever women's basketball team at Western Carolina University, excuse me. And 2 years after that, I was named the first head basketball coach at the University of, women's basketball coach at the University of Georgia. And 2 years after that, I moved to Cincinnati, and that was in the summer of 1970. And I was fortunate to be hired by the College of Mount St. Joseph, which is now Mount St. Joseph University. I had the opportunity to work with outstanding students and athletes. And these students and athletes greatly enriched my life then, and they still do today. And any awards or honors that have come my way, I owe it all to those athletes and to my fellow coaches, and I hope they know I'll always be grateful. We were asked today to speak for a couple of minutes on a favorite quotation, and I chose this one. In a land where you can be anything you want to be kind. I can't think of anything more important. Kindness is everything. There's not one industry, one company, school, or organization where kindness should not be the top priority in its operation. As a coach, I tried to mold my teams into strong, courageous, determined athletes who would work mightily to defeat our opponents. That doesn't sound all that kind. However, at the heart of what we were trying to accomplish, we tried to always emphasize kindness. It's not antithetical to the experience at all. And I found that by doing this, it made our team stronger. It made them proud. It gave them a joyful spirit. It made the whole experience more meaningful and worthwhile, and thus more fun. And it served to reinforce our belief that when it comes to kindness, there's nothing that matters more and nothing that makes a bigger difference. I hope all of you stay happy and healthy, and again, I thank you.
I love Jean Dowell's remarks about her motivation. And it is so apt during a pandemic. It's apt anytime, but particularly during a pandemic. Quote, "When you can be anything, be kind." And that is so true. And when I think of kindness, I think of Mother Teresa. And Mother Teresa said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples." We're on to our next honoree. Our next honoree, James L. Johnson, courageously cast a stone when in 1988, just 8 years into his career as an attorney, he developed the Summer Work Experience in Law, also known as SWEL. For 32 years, SWEL has provided African American high school and college students with serious interest in law exposure to the legal profession. Johnson created a curriculum that includes information on law school admission, LSAT preparation, law school visits, and paid internships in various firms and corporations throughout Cincinnati, Hamilton, Dayton, and Columbus. In 2013, Jim was recognized by the UC College of Law Alumni Association as a distinguished alumnus, and in the same year was the recipient of the Cincinnati Bar Association's Themis Award. According to the Cincinnati Bar Association, quote, "The Themis Award is the highest honor bestowed by the Bar Association for extraordinary service to law and the community." It won't surprise you to learn that in 2017, Jim was honored by the Ohio Women's Bar Association with the Diversity and Inclusion Sponsor Award for developing SWEL into one of the most highly recognized legal enrichment and exposure programs in the country, not just in Greater Cincinnati, in the country. And he did this in his free time. He had a 25-year career as Senior Assistant City Solicitor and spent 7 years at the Hamilton County Public Defender's Office in its Juvenile Court Division, finally retiring in 2015. Johnson said it was an opportunity to pay people back who helped him as a young student, such as a woman at church who nominated him for a scholarship even though he barely knew her. One of 6 children who grew up in the West End projects, Johnson was only one of 2 students from elementary school who successfully graduated in his class at Walnut Hills High School, and he forged ahead to earn a law degree. Mr. J, as he is affectionately known by the SWEL scholars, maintains this message, quote, "You can get there. I got there. And here's how you do it," unquote. And that message has rippled out and changed the landscape of the legal community in Cincinnati and literally changed the lives of hundreds of young people. We are so honored to recognize Jim Johnson as a senior who rocks.
Well, thank you, Ann, for such a kind introduction. I have to admit that when I found out that I was nominated, I was kind of stunned because I didn't know it was going on. But then I was also humbled. But to be honored by Pro Seniors is really a great thing for me because, first of all, I contribute every year, but then secondly, I found it to be a valuable tool for me. Years ago, I referred an older man who had issues with property, and Pro Seniors resolved it. I had a family member that had an issue with the VA and the Social Security system, and through Pro Seniors, his was resolved. People have asked me how in 1988 I was able to come up with the concept to start SWEL and how I was able to make it happen. And I tell them that it was just a convergence of just, it was like a magical time in the city of Cincinnati within the legal community where there was this interest through an organization called the Round Table that was convened by the Black Lawyers Association and the Cincinnati Bar Association. I had always mentored young people even before I became an attorney, but even as a prosecutor, sometimes a witness would come up and say, "Hey, my son, my daughter wants to be a lawyer, and can they shadow you?" So I would have people shadowing me from when the Bar Association would do the law day the first Friday in May. And I would always go to make sure that black and white kids could see an African American attorney, and I would have black and white kids who would follow me, shadow me for that day, and then some would come back later, Caucasian and black. So I went from 7 the first year to 16 the next year, and then 24 the following year. And in the first few years, people were coming to me to say, "Hey, we want to participate." And then in some cases where I needed a door opened, I would just call and say, "Hey, Judge Jones told me to call," because there's always a gatekeeper. Mm-hmm. And that was how I got past the gatekeepers. One of the things that I know I was asked to do was to come up with something, that inspired me, or a saying that I try to live by. And a number came to mind, but I guess I never really formalized it, or I never tried to formally think about why I do what I do. I just did it because I know the kind of support that I've had in my life. I grew up in the projects and downtown, and I remember this 12-year-old kid in the 6:30 in the morning catching a bus to get to Walnut Hills High School in the 7th grade. So I remember those days. But I had a lot of people who inspired me along the way. But interestingly enough, a couple of weeks ago, I came across a saying by Nipsey Hussle, and it's Hussle, but I'm sure that, you know, it was, because at first I thought it was Hustle, Hustle. And what he said was, the greatest human act is to inspire. And when I saw that, I just thought that summed up, I think, who I try to be. You know, what I try to be is, and it's not necessarily to inspire people to become lawyers, but to inspire people to come up with their passion and their aspirations, and helping them along their path to getting to where they want to be. And in some cases, I think SWEL's greatest success is people who decide not to go to law school, because now that they've had a chance to take a look and they understand that whatever it is that they need to understand to come to the place of understanding that I'm really grateful for the experience I had, I'm grateful for the assistance in writing, I'm grateful in the opportunities to public speak, to do some kind of research and to have professional exposure. But I've decided that I don't want to be a lawyer, and I'm going to take these skills, and then my aspirations take me elsewhere. And to me, that's a success.
I have breaking news. We have raised, oh my heavens, we are so close to $10,000 right now. We have raised $9,652.50. You all are a generous group of people. Thank you so much. And it's interesting, you are an inspiration to me and to Pro Seniors. And what I love about Mr. J, I'm going to call him Mr. J, even though I'm not a SWEL scholar, and Mr. J's motivation is the greatest human act is to inspire. So this is a wonderful evening. Everyone is so generous, but we have one more honoree. From the opening majestic pictures of Cincinnati and its artistic landmark to its smooth command, stay tuned. Showcase starts right now. You know you're going to learn something wonderful about Cincinnati when you watch any edition of CET's Showcase with Barbara Keller. Our last honoree, Barbara Weeks Keller, has hosted the weekly art show for over a decade and introduces viewers to guests who range from Fiona the Hippo with the Cincinnati Zoo's Christina Gorsuch, to Cincinnati Ballet's Servilio Amador, to restaurateur Jeff Ruby, 3 of her favorite interviews. Keller has won numerous awards for her roles at CET, including a Regional Emmy Award in 2018 for her coverage of Blink, Cincinnati's Light and Arts Festival. What every viewer can count on, as steadily as Keller's gorgeous brooches and pearls, is her absolute love and respect for arts in Cincinnati. She exudes adoration, and she and her husband have been longtime supporters, serving on boards, volunteering, and entertaining. And perhaps it was destiny, since the couple met on a Cincinnati ballet trip to Russia in 1973. Their daughter Ainsley danced with the Cincinnati Ballet, and their granddaughter Ava danced the role of Clara in 2012 and 2013 productions of The Nutcracker. In addition to their granddaughter's ballet performances, the Kellers attended swim meets and then cheered musical theater starring roles. They continued to be active grandparents. It's just a little bit longer distance now because Ava is at Trinity College. A lifelong Cincinnatian and graduate of the University of Cincinnati, Keller and her husband Larry are known for their generosity throughout the Cincinnati area. For her long-lasting and wide-reaching impact in our community, we are so proud to honor Barbara Keller as a 2020 Senior Who Rocks.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate this. It's really a great honor. And until I heard about this, I didn't know I was a senior. So thank you very much for reminding me that I am a senior and that having lived as long as I have, you would expect me to have some philosophies. So actually, I don't have a whole lot because I let people decide things for themselves, like on my show. I let people talk because that's the whole idea. But I do have a couple things that I would like to share with you. One, if I had advice for someone, really of any age, but a lot for seniors, and that is learn to listen. People seem to have lost the art of listening. And if you as a senior can learn to listen, you will be the most popular person at a party. I always say no one ever learned anything while they were talking. And I think it's something that we can all do and benefit from, and everyone will love you if you listen to them. The other thing I think I'd like to suggest is that you start writing. I think that all seniors have a story to tell, and maybe throughout your life you've mentioned things from your past, your childhood. Maybe you think it's an open book, but maybe it isn't. And I think I know personally that I know nothing really about my grandparents, my great-grandparents. What a treasure it would be if you would write down, you start writing about your life. And writing is sort of, it's soothing, and you feel like you have a sense of accomplishment when you finished a part. And I do mine just whenever I have a chance. And it's not in consecutive order. It's just thoughts that come to my brain or events, and I'll let them piece it together chronologically. But I think it's a great way to be productive and leave a legacy. We all worry about, what can we leave our grandchildren? That would be the most precious thing if you wrote your story. So thank you again very much for choosing me. I'm very humbled by it, and I will do my best to uphold the honor of the proceeds.
Wow. This is amazing. I would imagine that we all agree that our 3 honorees, Jean Dowell, Jim Johnson, and Barbara Keller, are outstanding individuals who greatly enrich our lives through their remarkable achievements. Their ongoing engagement and commitment to have a positive impact in our community, and they inspire all of us. I want to please join me in one last recognition to our 3 2020 honorees. Hear, hear. Thank you for all you do in the Cincinnati community. Well, I have good news. We are now over the $10,000 threshold in funds raised since 5 o'clock. We're now at $10,417, and somebody must have gone ahead and picked up that extra 50 cents. So now it's $10,417. Before we close out, I also want to recognize the Resource Development Committee and all of the other volunteers that made this virtual event worthy of our honorees and possible for tonight. And again, we're here at ITA's studio, and they're doing an amazing job, so thank you. So please remember to post your pictures. That's what this is for. Got one more chance to do some selfies. Post your pictures with the hashtag #SeniorsWhoRock and tag the handle @ProSeniors for social media. This is the only fundraiser for Pro Seniors. And the beautiful aspect about Cincinnati is that we are a generous community. We are philanthropically minded, and we take good care of our nonprofit organizations. I know that you have so many choices to make with charitable giving, and that's a good thing because that means the nonprofit sector is thriving. And I know you have choices to make. I really would like for you to consider making a generous donation in support of the senior population who needs access to information and resources and justice. And you can do it in 3 ways. And by now, you know this by heart. So by credit card, by going online to Pro Seniors, and I certainly hope somebody is here from Heritage Bank because that's their logo right there. So that's a plug to Heritage. You can also do, yes, again, the old-fashioned checkbook with, that would be Heritage Bank. So a checkbook and send that in to Pro Seniors, or of course you can do text to give, and you do the word Senior Rock to the number of 44321. Thank you so much for carving time out of your evening to be with us. All of us appreciate it. I want you to stay well. I want you to be well, and we will see you next year.